Tonight on NXT is Kasius Ohno versus Hideo Itami. Well, howdy fans. This is Voeltz with your nuts and bolts of NXT, the June 26th edition. And as the sun sets here, we bring you NXT from Full Sail University in Florida with 4 big matches. We started off the show with Ember Wynn picking up a very quick victory over the NXT debuting Lady Tapa. Now, as many of you may know, Lady Tapa is in fact a second generation superstar. From there, we had a match supposed to be David Ramos and Timothy Bumpers taking on the NXT champions, the Authors of Pain. However, the duo of Sanity took out Ramos and Bumpers and then turned into a brawl with your NXT champions, which ended with a stare down, but the Authors of Pain were standing tall in the ring. From there, we had the Velveteen Dream winning with a big elbow drop, a Macho Man Randy Savage-esque elbow drop off the top rope over Cesar Rononi. That's very hard to say. After there, we heard from Drew McIntyre, who is the #1 contender for Bobby Roode's NXT Championship. We will see them go head-to-head at NXT Brooklyn TakeOver 3 coming up on SummerSlam weekend. And of course, in our main event, we had Kasius Ohno taking on Hideo Itami. Now, as everybody knows, leading up to this, these guys started out as pseudo-friends, pseudo-tag team, until Hideo Itami started blaming Kasius Ohno for all the troubles that he's been experiencing lately. Well, of course, this matchup, we saw a much larger Kasius Ohno taking on a much smaller, but maybe a little bit quicker Hideo Itami. Now, although Hideo Itami was smaller, of course, the former Kenta still showed a great deal of strength considering the size difference as he took on the former Chris Hero. So, this was a very down, dirty, hard-hitting, gritty matchup. They didn't do anything too crazy. It was a lot of mat-based wrestling and a lot of kicks and strikes. Of course, Kasius Ohno is a notorious striker, and of course, so is Hideo Itami. Unfortunately, we did not get a clear-cut victor in this situation because maybe out of frustration or maybe just out of plain viciousness, Hideo Itami did a kick to the lower peninsula, you might say, of Kasius Ohno, ending the match in a blatant disqualification. But that wasn't it. From there, we saw a lot of action after the bell as Kasius Ohno was still in pain from the low blow. Hideo Itami laid on several go-to-sleep maneuvers, GTSs, on Kasius Ohno, even outside the ring. So this one is far from over. That's it for this week on NXT as we move forward, getting closer to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. If you have comments, feedback, as always, leave them in the comment section here on OneWrestling.com's YouTube page, or you can hit us up on Twitter at OneWrestling. You can hit me up personally on Twitter at Travis Voeltz. Until next time, I am Travis Voeltz with your nuts and bolts of NXT.